Right, Pute. Wish you all a very good evening. Can all hear me? Dishans, good evening. Patio, good evening. Dilini, Angelina. Ashane, can all hear me, Puta? I think yes. Right. And do you know, kids? Today we are moving to the third session of the third competency. And listen to me, last week, we recognized some important, important characteristics of business organizations: liability, legal personality, continued existence. Can you remember? And after that, I introduced the first business organization that we need to recognize according to the according to the O-level syllabus, right? So today, I'm going to move to the third session where we discuss about partnerships. Another interesting business organization, partnerships. Do you know, if someone asks you, this is for your knowledge, right? The oldest form of the business organization is sole proprietorships. Oldest form. And even today, the most common type of business organization is also sole proprietorships. Okay. Later, due to some limits or disadvantages of sole proprietorships, this particular form of business organization was developed. You can recognize it by just scanning the past. Okay, good. Now, today also I'm ready with a very colorful and beautiful presentation. Children, if you can complete the tutorial at the same moment. If not, I'm providing this as a recorded session. No? You can complete it later, but I need to see all your completed work. And dear parents, if you all are listening, please check whether your child is copying the notes while even looking at the recording that I'm providing. Okay, Puta. Let me take you to the presentation. Right? Today, we move to partnerships. Partnerships, right? Give me a minute, Puta. Give me a minute. Right. Puta. Let's see what does it mean by a partnership. Then hagannako, you are not receiving, hard definitions, right? In O levels, no. But when you get to A levels, you will realize that there are some advanced definitions, but you don't want to use them in O levels. See how simple this is. Definition of partnership. Pute, the relationship among individuals conducting a business in common. Conducting a business is in common. Business in common with an objective to earn a profit is known as a partnership. What is it? Right? The relationship among individuals. Highlight right? You have to highlight, right? A relationship. Make a highlight relationship among individuals and then conducting a business. Please highlight this as well. Conducting a business and with the objective to earn a profit. Then there are no partnerships with a non-profit motive. first week business organizations can be classified under 3 bases, right? Other online test එක තියෙනවා මම හිතනවා ලෑස්තිය ඇති කියලා කට්ටියට. There are 15 questions. It won't take at least 10 minutes if you all have studied. හරිද? මේ හැම දෙයක් වෙතෙන්දි ටෙස්ට් වෙලා ඇති. Okay, prepare yourselves please. Pute, now look at this. There is a relationship among individuals to conduct a business in common with an objective to earn a profit. See, please learn this by heart. Okay, good. Let's move to okay. Wait a minute. But give me a minute. I drop a message to the group and come. Attendance is poor. Wait, give me a minute. So I think you'll have written the definition. You can write it later. Next topic, essential elements of a partnership. What are the essential elements of a partnership business? Pute, first one, it is an association of 2 or more persons. You can't form a partnership, listen to me, you can't form a partnership just by one person, single person. There should be always 2. Let me tell you the number. Minimum is 2. Maximum is 20. Minimum is 2. Maximum is 20. Right? 2 or more persons is the first element. Second one, there is an agreement. Let's say that we both are partners. Between you and me, there is an agreement. How to share the profits, how to share the losses, how to introduce capital to the business. There are provisions in the agreement. It is the second element. What is the first one? It is an association of 2 or more people. More means maximum is 20. And there is an agreement. There is an agreement among the partners. Third element. And there is an existence of a business activity. I told you that the business can be classified according to the nature of the product. Who can tell me the answer? How do you classify the business according to the nature of the product? Those who are with me from the beginning. How do you classify business according to, right? According to the nature of the product it produces. Anyone in the class? Anyone in the class? Very good. What is it? Commodity manufacturing and service providing. Do you know? Now listen to me. Now listen to me. If it is a partnership business, there should be a business activity. It may be a production of a product, commodity, or it may be a service providing business. Anyway, there should be an activity of the business. Either production of a commodity or providing of a service. This is how you combine the knowledge of the previous competencies with, right, the current or present competencies. Next one. Sharing profits. If they are a partnership, if there are partners, they should be share the profits. Agreed? It is not like a sole proprietorship. Right? The profit has to be shared. Now, remember, the minimum of partners in a partnership is 20, minimum is 2, maximum is 20. Do you understand? These are the essential elements of a partnership. Next. Characteristics of a partnership. Characteristics. First one. Ownership is between 2 to 20 partners. I told you that previously. In a partnership, puta, owners are called as partners. Minimum is 2, maximum is 20. Okay. Next. I think last week I told you, partnerships doesn't have a legal personality. What does that mean? In front of the law, partnership is not recognized as an artificial person. No. There is no legal personality for partnerships. Okay. Third, the liability is unlimited. It means liability of the owners is unlimited. Right? If the business wants to settle the liabilities for the outside partners, outside parties, the owners have to sacrifice their personal wealth either. Lamai, a small note, right? I don't know at what time the power will be interrupted. So I'm doing the session a little bit quicker. Anyway, you have to go through this recorded session again and watch it many times, any times you like. Kamati pramanak balanna puluwan. But today I want to do the session a little bit quicker because, right, this is the time where we are going to get the power interruption. Not now, right? We have nearly, right, 40 or 30 minutes more. Right, let's continue. No legal personality, unlimited liability. Next one. No continued existence. Okay, for partnerships, there is no continued existence. Okay, next one. Not mandatory to register. Registration is not compulsory. Can you remember what I taught you regarding registration of a sole proprietorship last week? I told you, no, if the name of the business is 100% similar with the name of the owner, registration is not complete, not required. Same rule is applied here. Not mandatory to register. Okay. Next one. Profits and losses are distributed according to the Agreement of Partnership Act. Okay. But normally, right, according to the Agreement or Partnership Act, profit or loss are distributed according to the Agreement or Partnership Act. It's another characteristic. Puta, mevai in-depth study puta, you will get all these things in A levels. But remember these characteristics, at least a few. Next, risk. As the profit is shared, the risk is also shared. As you share the profits, the risk also can be shared among the partners. And the next is, accounting is not compulsory. These are the characteristics of partnerships. And the last one, termination, winding off of the business, termination or closing down. Termination is depending on the partners. When the partners like, they can terminate the partnership. So why don't you study? Ownership. Ownership 2 to 20. No legal personality, right? Unlimited liability, no continued existence, not required, not mandatory to register. Likewise, study it now at least. Okay, good. These are the characteristics of a partnership. Okay. Attendance 13. Nearly 25 are there. 13 right. Anyway, I think most of the students have a power fairly this, right? Anyone who is watching the recorded session, right, or not attending the live class, Puta, once again, go through the recorded session many times you like. Okay, good. Let's continue. Okay. Advantages of a partnership. Advantages. First advantage, convenient to start. Not like incorporated companies, right? Compared to the incorporated companies, this is very, right, easy to start. Advantage. Next, can raise more capital compared to sole proprietorship. How is that possible? Forget about that. Let's say this person is a sole proprietor, right? When, right, the sole proprietorship is the business organization, he's the only person who can, right, provide the capital. But when there is a partnership between these two, okay, are you listening to me? Onita, I have not yet moved to Manta Belu, but I'll let you know. Okay, I'll go through it. Sure. Now get back to the lesson, Puta. Get back to the lesson, right? Haripute. Now this is the this is one partner, one owner. So is the person who can provide the capital for a sole proprietorship. Do you see it is limited? But when it comes to a partnership, do you see there are two partners to provide the profit, to provide the capital? So it is an advantage of a partnership compared to a sole proprietorship. The second advantage. Third one. Can utilize different skills of partners. Once again, we both have formed a partnership. You have your set of own skills. Even I have my set of own skills. So we can both use these skills, right? Both these skills to develop the business. Sometimes you are a good finance, right, controller. You're a good finance controller. I'm a good marketer. So we can get together, right? Advantage. Next. Shared liability among partners. If you're a sole proprietor, the liability should be borne individually. Those who were with me last week, they can easily understand what I'm saying. If you are a single owner, you have to bear the liability as a whole. But if it is a partnership, you can share the liability among the partners. Advantage. Can take collective decisions. Do you know, if you are the only person, if you are the person who is responsible in making decisions, do you understand? The ability to make mistakes is higher. Let's say you are running a sole proprietorship. You're the person who makes decisions regarding the business. So you take your own decisions according to your own dimensions. So, right, the probability of right taking that particular right decision incorrect is higher. But when it is a partnership, you can make collective decisions. You can make collective decisions. Understood? And then it is distribution of losses and the risk. If you are a single owner, the loss should be borne by you individually. But now it is shared among the partners. Advantage. Good. Next one. Less legal formalities. Okay. Compared to right, not incorporated companies, you have a very little number of right laws related with the partnerships. Advantages. These are the advantages of a partnership. You can write it later either. Okay. Next one. Disadvantages. Do we have disadvantages? Yes, there are. Yes, we have. Unlimited liability. For partners, right? Liability is unlimited. Okay. Next one. Profit is shared. If it is a sole proprietorship, you could have right own the profit solely individually. But now the profit is distributed. From the owner's perspective, it's a disadvantage. Next one. Conflicts among the partners. නැද්ද? දැන් හිතන්නකො මෙහෙම in your school, right? When you can, right, when you have to make a decision, how would you like to make the decision alone or as a group? Let's say that you have selected the group, you are going to make a decision as a group. Do you know how difficult to make that particular how difficult to make that particular decision? Because there are conflicts. Next is no continued existence. Another disadvantage. බලන්න කොච්චර පැහැදිලිද බලන්න පුතා. ලියා ගන්න ලස්සනට පාඩම් කරගන්න. හරිද? අපි හොඳ රිසල්ට් එකකට සෙට් වෙමු මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට් එකේ. හරිද? Next one, next disadvantage. No legal personality. How is the disadvantage? You have to represent yourself in front of the law. No legal personality for partnerships. These are the disadvantages of a partnership business. ඔක්කොම ටික පාඩම් කරගන්න බලන්න පුතා. හරිද? Right? So පුතේ මම ආපහු පාරක් කියනවා. All these tutorials, මේ tutorial එක. හරිද? It includes everything that someone needs to know regarding a partnership business. හැම දෙයක්ම පැටියු මෙතන තියෙනවා. ආසාවෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න. So I noticed that some are doing their job perfectly. Right? They are writing the notes beautifully, highlighting them. I think that they are studying it as well. අපි එක ලස්සනට ඉවර කරමු මම කියවන්නේ නේද පුතේ? Right. So පුතා, so I've recognized the disadvantages. Let's move to the next topic. Partnerships. Where is it more suitable? මේක වැඩිපුරම right හොඳ කොතනටද? අහගන්න පුතා. This is a very famous business or business type among accountants. Okay. This is famous among accountants. And also it is famous among lawyers. Have you done this? Have you seen this? 2 or more lawyers get together and form a partnership to provide legal facilities for the customers. Okay. It is famous among accountants. It is famous among lawyers. Don't forget the doctors. පුතාලා දැකලා තියෙනවද පුතා? Right? Especially the private medical centers. They are formed or funded by 2 or more doctors. And they provide the service. And the profits are shared. Doctors. And the next is tuition class teachers. දැකලා තියෙනව නේද පුතා? Tuition classes. Right? One teacher is joining with another and they form a tuition class. See, these are the right businesses, right, where the partnership is more suitable. Okay, Harida, right? I think for the moment you have no problems at all. Let's continue with the next one. Ilangik. Slide show. Now let's move to the legal influences. I told you previously that for partnerships, right, the laws are really less legal formalities, but there are few. Let's see what are they. First law is this one. First one, Partnership Ordinance of 1890. In Sinhalese we call this Haul Vyapara Aajña Panata. Partnership Ordinance of 1890. Next one, Companies Act number 7 of 2007. Right? Aganna. Even this has a condition influencing the partnership. In this act, it includes that the maximum and minimum number of partners. So the maximum and minimum number of partners is mentioned in where? Companies Act number 7 of 2007. Maximum 20, minimum 2. ඔක ප්‍රශ්නයක් විදිහට අහන්න පුළුවන්. What is the act which describes or which which provides the maximum and minimum number of partners? You have to say Companies Act number 7 of 2007. That has to be your answer. Next. Business Names Registration Ordinance number 6 of 1918. Okay, wait a minute. Can anyone remember this act? Can anyone remember this act? චුට්ටක් මොලේ රිවයින් කරන බටන් එක ඔබලා බලන්න සතියක් විතර පස්සට පුළුවන් වෙනවා. Anyone who can remember this ordinance? අයියෝ ළමයි පාඩම් කරේ නැද්ද? අශේන්, දිනෙල්, දිනෙත්, දුනිති පාඩම් කරේ නැද්ද ඔයගොල්ලෝ? පුතේ අහගන්න පැටියෝ අහගන්න. I told you even the sole proprietorships are registered based on this particular ordinance. හරිද පුතා? Business Names Registration Ordinance number 6 of 1918. හරිද පුතා? Right. Next one. මේ තියෙන්නේ registration of the name of the business. තව තියෙනවා පුතා. තව එකක් තියෙනවා. Prevention of Frauds Ordinance මං කියවනේ. දැන් O level ලේසි නැහැ. කටපාඩම් කරගන්න වෙනවා මේ ටික. Right. Prevention of Frauds Ordinance number 7 of 1840. මේකේ මොකද්ද තියෙන්නේ? Prevention of frauds වල මේ තියෙන්නේ පුතා. It says how the business has to form a partnership deed. Are we clear? These are the legal influences affecting on the partnership business. හරිද පුතා? Any questions? Not Ashen අහගන්න පැටියෝ. Not every business. Not every business. මම දැන් අශේන් අහන හොඳ ප්‍රශ්නයක්. So that means every business is registered under business names registration ordinance? No. Not every business. Sole proprietorships and partnerships only. For incorporated companies, we have another rule. Okay, Ashen, thank you very much for asking that question. Right. Okay, perfect. So these are the legal influences on partnership business. දැක්කද පැටියෝ? පාඩම් කරගන්න. අද අපි අර අලුත් පුතා ඉන්නවද? මට එයාගේ නම මතක නැහැ. Who is the new student? අපේ ටීචර්ගේ සම්ක නෙමෙයි. He's not here, right? Are you there? Sachit, yes. He's not in the meeting today, ne? I think I have sent in. Give me a minute, Pata. Give me a minute. Now these are the legal influences. I think you know where to write them. Hari, me prashne hemma mahala tino. What are the legal influences? You have to write the answer here. Yela padang karagan. Let's move to the next one. What is a partnership agreement? Two things, partnership agreement and partnership deed. There is a slight difference between these two things. Let's see the meaning of a partnership agreement first. Partnership agreement. A partnership commences with an agreement among its parts. I told you, if it is a partnership, there should be an agreement. If we form a partnership, we should have an agreement between you and me. This agreement can be written, oral, or an agreement made through implication. Puta, we both can form a partnership through a written agreement or through an oral agreement. Oral agreement. Oh, let me explain this word implication. Let's say we are forming a partnership, right? We imply the community that we have a partnership. Puta, have you get this experience? You are going to visit a doctor. You are visiting a doctor, right? Let's say with your father or mother. And look at this. Puta, at the same point, Puta, Dishan, same point. එතනම ලියා ගන්න. Points දෙකක් දාලා ලියා ගන්න. First point here. First point is written here and the second point over here. එච්චරයි. Manage the space, okay? Manage the space. Right. Puta, let me come back to the lesson. Right? Last week, I went to a doctor with my wife, right? And she wanted to do a test, right? She wanted to do a test, right? And that doctor was recommending another doctor. He is good in that. I know the subject, no? I quickly understood, okay, now these two doctors have a partnership. This person is recommending another. Imply. That is what you mean by implication. Okay, one doctor said, okay, let's say Dr. Gunawardhan is good in this test. Go and meet him. I'll give you a letter. I think you have these experiences, right? So there is a partnership and it is informed to the public through implication. Right. Let's continue. Then what is a partnership deed? මොකද්ද මේ deed එකක් කියන්නේ? Partnership deed. Listen to me. In the previous topic I told you there should be an agreement among you and me, no? There should be an agreement. So that agreement can be a written, oral, or by an implication. But deed is a special thing because deed is always the agreement in writing. මේ බලන්න මෙයා sign කරනවා පේනවද? මේ partnership agreement in writing is called as a partnership deed. Do you understand the differences now? Agreement is, right, there should be an agreement in a partnership. It can be an oral, in a written, or implication. But deed is a partnership agreement in writing. Right. And look at this. මෙන්න මේක අහගන්න. මෙන්න මේක ලියා ගන්න ඕන හැමෝම. As a second point. I told you that the prevention of frauds ordinance කියලා මම එකක් කිව්ව මතකද? In the within brackets we had, right, partnership deed. Now this is how it, right, is processed. According to the prevention of frauds ordinance, if the initial capital of the partnership exceeds 1,000 rupees, okay, a partnership is required to be conducted under a partnership deed or a written agreement. පුතේ මේක පොඩ්ඩක් කියව ගන්න හිමීට. Do you ever think at present we can start a business, right, without investing at least 1,000 rupees? 1,000 li මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන් අදනේ? Therefore you have to understand, this particular, listen to me, this particular right rule is emphasizing or encouraging the partners to have a partnership deed always. Am I clear with you? What is the rule? If your capital X is exceeding 1,000 rupees, you must have a partnership deed. You must have a partnership deed. Understood? Right. Next one. Now I'm going to write a special note here. Puta, once again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Puta, බලන්න මෙන්න මේක. When a partnership has an agreement. What is an agreement? හරිද? Agreement කියන්නේ agreement in writing or agreement in oral. It must act in accordance with that agreement. And in the absence of such an agreement, it must act according to the partnership ordinance of 1890. ආගන්නක පොතේ මම ආයි කියලා දෙන්න. When there is a partnership agreement, you have to act according to that particular agreement. In the absence of that agreement, you have to act according to the partnership ordinance. පැහැදිලිද පුතා? පැහැදිලිද? මේක ලියා ගන්න. අර ස්පෙෂල් නෝට් එක කියලා මම දාලා තියෙන පුතේ ටියුට් එකේ. මෙන්න මෙතන පැටියෝ මෙන්න මෙතන important note කියන එක ලියාගන්න. කියලා හොඳට පාඩම් කරගන්න. Because on the next week I'm going to test this. Those who are watching the recorded session due to several reasons, remember these things will be tested in the following week. Right? Let's move to the next one. What are the information can be recognized in a partnership deed? මොකද deed එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ? Partnership agreement in writing. What type of information we can recognize there? These are the information that is found in a partnership deed. First one, name of the partnership. Let's say you and me have formed a partnership and there is a written agreement. In that agreement, we have to mention the name. A and B partnership, Bhati and Santosh partnership. Am I clear with you? Like that. Next one, it should include the name of the partners. Harida, name of the partners. Abhitamko mehema. Duniti and Mahesh partnership. Netmi and Mahesh partnership. Andrina and Mahesh partnership. Binan and Dinel partnership. Likewise, you have to name the partners. Dishan Pereira, right? And Onita Lesan, right? They are the partners. To name the partners. And the next is capital contribution. How the partners provide capital. Let's say Kavishka provides for 500,000. I am providing 400,000. To mention how the capital is provided. See how nice it is. Next one, Puta. Responsibilities. Okay. How we respond, how the the obligations are satisfied by the partners. What are the responsibilities? What you have to do in the business? Mention it. Next one, profit sharing ratio. Let's say once again, you and me have a partnership agreement, a partnership deed. We have to agree to a ratio. We are sharing the profit in the ratio of 2:1. 2 portions of the profit belongs to you. 1 portions to me. 2:1. That is what you mean by a profit sharing ratio, children. Next one. Available salaries to partners. If there are salaries that has to be included. You are right entitled to a 10,000 salary per month as a partner. I am entitled to a 20,000 salary per month. That should be included. Next, interest on capital. Now, these are the usual things that is found included in a partnership deed. Next one, information included in partnership ordinance. Again, a partnership act. I told you, in the absence of a partnership deed, we should move to the partnership act, ordinance. These are the things that is included in the partnership ordinance. First one, it says the profits and losses have to be shared equally among the partners. Pute, first, listen to me. If you have an agreement to share the profits or losses in the partnership deed, that has to be followed. If not, you have to follow this rule. In the absence of a profit sharing ratio in the partnership deed, you have to share the profits equally as per the partnership ordinance. Got the idea? Capital should be contributed equally by the partners. You can't provide 500 and I can't provide 400. It should be provided equally. First, calculate the total equity of the business, then divide it by equally. These are the information found in the partnership deed. Sorry, partnership ordinance. Then it says, no salaries, right? Right? Then no interest on capital. Then all partners should engage in the management of the business. These are the right Information included in partnership. Remember the local vistarone, just remember a few. Huh? Just study a few. Understood? Good. Right? Definition, characteristics, elements, advantages, disadvantages, legal influence. Partnership agreement, partnership deed, information included in the partnership deed, and information included in the partnership ordinance. Got it? Let's continue. Let's move to the tutorial. Right? What are the information for recorded in the partnership deed? Previous slide you had right there. Information. And what are the information found in the partnership ordinance? Right. Now, what are the similarities? And what are the similarities between sole proprietorships and partnerships? Can you name a few? What are the similarities between sole proprietorship and partnerships? Can someone tell me an answer? Anyone in the class? A similarity between a sole proprietorship and a partnership. Ashen, very good. Ashen, sayana hondai. Duniti, very good puta. Oitine thawa ekak kiyana balana. No legal personality. Unlimited liability. No continued existence. Oy tiyenne. I mean, how that can be a similarity puta? එහෙම එකක් නෑනේ පුතේ. Loss and profit කියලා එකක් similarity එකක් හදන්න බෑනේ. Duniti, your answer is also correct. Not mandatory to register. ඔය තියෙන similarities. බලමු ටක් කාලා ගිහිල්ලා. මේ තියෙන පැටියෝ. These are the similarities between yes Ashen. හොඳයි සෑහෙන හොඳයි. Similarities between sole proprietorships and partnerships. First one, unlimited liability. It is common to both sole proprietorships and for partnerships. Second, no legal personality. Either the sole proprietorships or partnerships have a legal personality. Third, no continued existence. I told you that. If something happened to the owner, that is the end of the business. No continued existence. Next, registration is not mandatory. Next, accounting is not compulsory. These are the similarities between sole proprietorships and partnerships. When කොච්චර පැහැදිලි බලන්න පුතා මේ note එක නේද? පුතාට මේ textbook එක තාම හම්බෙලත් නැහැ නේද ඉස්කෝලේ? දැන් බලන්න අපි පාඩම් 3ක් ඉවරයි. මම ලස්සනට කියලා දෙන්නම් පුතා. හරිද? මම කියන විදිහට මහන්සි වෙලා පාඩම් කරන්න. කිසිම දවසක වාට අඩු result එකක් එන්නේ නැත. This is a very easy subject. This is a practical subject as I told you. Right? Good. Let's continue to the next slide. I'm explaining some differences. Differences between sole proprietorships and partnerships. First one owner. In a sole proprietorship, you have only one owner. In a partnership, 2 to 20 owners is the first difference. Okay. Can someone tell me another difference? Can you name a difference between a sole proprietorship and a partnership? Anyone in the class? Difference. Shenuk Fernando, Pute, Vibu, Onita, Kavishka. Can you come up with another reason, another difference? Profit sharing ratio. Hari. Owner is known as yes, Dunit, that is correct. Dishans, I think you mean the same thing, right? Now Dunit says a very good point. Profits are shared in a partnership, but not in a sole proprietorship. Very good, Puta. Very good. In a sole proprietorship, the owner is known as the sole proprietor. In a partnership, can someone tell me? Monkey over the session. In a partnership, how do we introduce the owners? Anyone in the class? In partnership, we call the owners as partners. Next, in a sole proprietorship, decisions are made by the sole proprietor individually. But in a partnership, the decisions are made as a collective decision. They come, they go group together, and they only make the decision. See. Yes, Puta, I think that one is connected with this particular one. Perfect. Perfect. Next one. Profits are enjoyed individually. Duniti, that is what this is your point. In a partnership, profits are shared among the partners. Me mamme have a presentation ek mahadanna, right? Chuttak mahansi no godak onne me wata mahansi wenna. Right? I'm doing this for you. Right? I'm doing this for you. So take the maximum advantage of it, son. You can do it. Okay? And the losses should be borne individually. In a partnership, the losses can be shared. Differences. In the previous slide, I explained the similarities. Here I am presenting the right differences. Right? Next one. The make a tharimalesi registration of a partnership business. It is 100% similar to sole proprietorship. Registration is not mandatory. Look at this point. But if the name of the partnership is different with the full names of partners, full names Vinona, names of the partners, it is mandatory to register. Right? Now, this is not practical either. Let's say that we have 5 partners. Can we put all 5 names in that particular name? No, you can't. Okay. It is mandatory to register when the name of the business is different with the name of the partners. It is mandatory to register. It is the rule. Next point. Registration has to be made as per now, right? Business Names Registration Ordinance number 6 of 1980. The same act which we used to register the name of a sole proprietorship. Right. Same procedure used in sole proprietorships in registration is followed, registration of is followed for partnerships as well. Can you remember? This process. Go to the relevant provincial council and collect the forms, names, registration, and to get the approval of the Gramaniladari, and then visit the Gramaniladari, get it completed, and hand over both the completed formats to the provincial council once again, and receive your business registration. Very simple. Lassana note ka complete kara. Padang karagana putala. Padang karagana. Harida. Right. This is how you register a partnership business. Harida. Now, it is the end of the second business organization, partnerships. Puta. On the next week, we are discussing incorporated companies in detail. Incorporated companies? Yes. And if we get a time, we are moving to cooperative societies too. Lassana padamak. Harida putala. Right. Okay. Then I think it is about to write the power failure. I have to send you the mechanically machine paper. I have to send it to the group. Right. So children, that's all for today. And once again, if you have your friends, please inform them about the class. Right. I think everything is moving perfectly well. we are getting, last week I couldn't send you the examination because of the power failure, right? Extremely sorry for that. But this week we have, right? So children, once again, if parents are listening, please encourage your child to sit for that online evaluation every week and get their results. And children, that's all for today. That's all for today, right? Until we meet again on next Monday, thank you very much and may God bless you. Thank you so much, Buddha.